from the Wherever I May Roam studio. This is the Youth Gone Mild podcast, where hairlines fade, but rock never does. I'm your host, Gen X Joe. On this podcast, I sit down with the legends and the voices who have built the foundation of rock behind the songs that we crank way too loud today. But we're not just looking back. We're also turning up the volume on the new blood, carving their own path in rock with fresh energy, ideas, and a whole lot of attitude. So, for you old heads like me, think of the Youth Gone Mild podcast as your liner notes to the stories and the news from the artists we worshipped, and from the new blood, keeping that Bic lit. And as for you Gen Zs and younger listeners, if you're listening, and if you are, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, you're bumping up the volume on the Youth Gone Mild podcast and learning a little about the music that came before you and discovering new artists that keeps me rocking like docking. Yeah, go ahead, figure out what that means. I'll wait. So, whether you grew up spinning vinyl, wearing out cassette tapes, collecting CDs, loading up MP3s, or streaming your favorite bands of today, settle in, get ready for another conversation with the artist that keeps rock alive and kicking. Once again, I'm Gen X Joe, and this is today's Youth Gone Mild podcast interview. What's up, man?
Nothing much. Just waiting for James, I guess.
Well, I see who the true band leader is right here. It's Rod.
Yeah, the bass player, of course. The bass player's on top. It's not the, and of course, not the singer.
Right? Or that the band's named after him or anything like that.
Nah, nothing like that at all.
No.
So where you coming from?
South of Pittsburgh.
South of Pittsburgh. All right. Yeah, we played out there.
All right, man. So if nothing's off limits, then we can get started.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, hey, guys, man. Welcome to the Youth Gone Mild podcast.
Awesome.
Thanks so much for having us.
Glad to be here.
James, Rod, you guys are from the band Ryder, man. So you guys formed in 2016. 10 years you guys have been together. So
August 28th, Burn the Sky. Burn the Sky is going to come out. It's going to be a great record. You know, we had a lot of fun making it, and we hope you all like it.
Well, I'll tell you, I listened to Burn the Sky, and then I was snooping on your Facebook page today, and you guys actually did a photo shoot last week when all the wildfire smoke was just billowing down from Canada and Minnesota.
Oh, of course.
Now, was that, I don't want to say planned per se, but your song's called Burn the Sky and all that smoke was there. How apropos was that?
Well, looking back on it, it was. I mean, we didn't plan it. We had that date planned a while in advance. And it just happened. That's when the wildfires were down here.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that was something else. We were just on vacation and it smoked us out a day early.
Damn, man. Yeah, it was pretty wild. The air quality was pretty bad. We went and did the shoot and then hot-footed it back out for rehearsal later that day, and it was just like literally like after we took our first fiver, it was like a lot of us were like winded.
As we were saying, you guys were formed in 2016, and also James, I was reading again. I was snooping on your page as well, and you had made some posts that in 10 years your life has changed incredibly.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, the band itself is celebrating 10 years. It's been going a while. With Rod, with Max, and with Bill, we've been. This is our second album we're working on together. The first one was Menagerie. The second one, Burn the Sky, coming out, and it's been really awesome. It's peaks and valleys, but there are a hell of a lot more peaks and valleys. And, I really like working, with, Max, Rod, and Bill. They're great guys, great musicians. And, we really, it's fun. It's fun to go on the road. It's fun to, get on stage and write and create together.
Well, I tell you one thing. When we wrote Menagerie, it was really interesting because I thought we did some really good things. We sat there and organically we wrote as a group of musicians. And that was something that I haven't been able to do in a while. I was in an original band, but it was basically the guitar player wrote the music and, that was it. So that was a really good experience.
Where you grow up and your environment influences you greatly. So it's everything that I do, whether it's lyrics, whether it's a riff, and I could probably say the same for Max and Bill, and obviously Rod too. It's we're all influenced by our environment and what we do, so it definitely has a big impact.
So yeah, I would say that is something to that. Central Jersey had a music scene, and some of it was stuff like Bon Jovi and Skid Row. Other was heavy stuff like Overkill.
Right,
And,
yeah, man.
Metallica and Anthrax have deep roots in New Jersey as well.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about Overkill, man. I think someone else mentioned that to me not too long ago, and I always forget about them. And if
What's funny about Overkill? You would have to say one thing for a band that should get a gold medal for breaking just persistence. It's Overkill. They have always done their thing. It's been the same since the early '80s, and they make no apologies to it. And they've been successful at it. So God bless them.
yeah, I discovered them a little bit later on, like early '90s, mid '90s when grunge hit. I wasn't a big fan of that, so I kind of, looked a little bit elsewhere for the music and the sound.
Yeah, I mean, I think though that I have brought a certain amount of that attitude towards my individual songwriting. That's the thing. Everybody's going to bring something different. I try when I'm writing to keep accessibility in mind. Max is more you write from the heart, and James kind of balances out ideas. And Bill throws his 2 cents in, and we came up with a record this time.
So let's talk about the new record, man. What kind of sets it apart from your earlier work?
It's heavier. It's a lot more metal influence to darker in certain things. Just like everything else, it's an evolution. That it's if we're just gonna sit here and write the same thing over and over again, unless we're AC/DC, it's gonna get pretty boring. Um, so it's just this one. Each album life cycle has a life of its own. Menagerie was its own thing, and Burn the Sky is its own thing. And if you're a fan of like heavier, doomy, groovier stuff, I mean, you'll like this record.
Definitely. I mean, was there a specific theme to kind of shape this album?
A lot of burning and a lot of fire.
Burning the Sky, right?
Yep.
I won't ask what you guys were burning. Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
Hey,
Well,
it's legal here.
I plead the fifth.
I got you, man. I can read you like I don't want to say an open book, but I got you. Now, other than Burn to Sky, is there any other track on there that you guys are especially proud of? If you want to even tip your hat to that.
Oh, definitely. One Walking on the Edge, I think people should check out. That's definitely got sort of that kind of like funk swingy attitude from Jersey.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think for me, I'll plug the first single off of the record, Neon Flames. Just great song, and we got a really cool music video out of it too. Shout out to Tanya who allowed us to film in the living room of her house in Staten Island. So
Yeah, shout out to Bruce for thinking on the fly and being able to be very flexible because that was a video that turned out really great, but it was not supposed to be what it was. We had a
Yeah,
last-minute change of plan in the script, so we had to shoot it to a live performance house party thing for the whole
yeah,
video. And
yeah,
it came out really good, and everybody adapted. Everybody had a lot of fun. There was a lot of beer drunk by people and a lot of food ate, and everybody had a blast.
Speaking of blast, the house is still in one piece though for her, right?
yes, the house is still in one piece. We did not. It was not what Metallica did for Turn the Page. We didn't destroy it.
No, people
Yeah,
still live there.
people still live there, still standing.
Yeah, because I know you guys are known for like your high energy performances, man. So I was just hoping it was still in one piece. Where does that fuel for the fire and that energy come from when you guys hit the stage?
I think it's part passion for loving what you do, and the other parts of just feeling the crowd and like feeling the room. I think it varies from room to room.
First time I walked on stage, I was a 19-year-old kid. And that was a long time ago, and I still get the same feeling as when I first walked on stage.
You guys bring it every day. What is one of the wildest things that maybe has happened to the band or you've witnessed at a Ryder show?
Shit, well, I don't know if I could say it.
Sure, you can, man. I ain't PG.
Well, let's just say we were playing a certain show, and a certain band member met somebody and disappeared for a little while. He came back very happy, and
Oh,
then we went on.
would it be the bass player?
No, I'm not saying any more than that. All I know is somebody came back for the gig really, 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 really motivated to play well.
Oh, so there was a little bit of extra energy for that performance.
Yeah, 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 exactly. A little motivation.
That's awesome, dude. You should write a song about it.
Well, we do have one close to that.
Oh, was that the one walking on the edge?
No, no, that's another one.
No,
That's one of the old ones. That's one of the old ones that the band wrote. I wasn't involved in it back then, but it's just very appropriate. That's why.
You guys are an independent band, man, putting your own music out.
Well,
oh,
you also
totally.
have all the responsibility too.
Well, of course,
You
yeah.
get all the freedom. You got everything is on you, and it's you don't have much of a learning curve built in, so you just try and promote yourself to the best of your ability, generate interest to get people to stream your music. I mean, today even like my car is 2018, it doesn't have a CD player.
I know.
Everything's about streaming numbers now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and you get little in return monetary wise.
Well, the old days weren't so great either. A lot of bands have famous stories about getting screwed by labels. So,
Yeah,
being able to write your own, play your own music, it's a passion. And like, I've always said there's three types of musicians. There's people that play in cover bands, there's people that play in tributes, and there's people that play in originals. Some people are fine with their three cover band. They play their cover band. They do their three sets in a night for $100. Other people are focused on recreating the experience of a certain band, which is great. But there's nothing like writing your own stuff, and there's nothing like the show of support that you see out there when we're traveling and playing and meeting people.
Me personally, I have a very eclectic taste. So I mean, it's if it sounds good, it sounds good.
yeah. And I say this a lot for me for doing this podcast. It was kind of for me to, I don't want to say be open minded because I'm always going to be a rock fan. I kind of don't veer too far from that genre, but I wanted to discover new bands such as Ryder, for instance, because I was stuck in that hair metal and the hard rock days of the 80s and the early 90s. And, road trips for me and the family was like, nobody's touching Ozzy's Boneyard or Hair Nation. That's what it's set to. We're not listening to anything else. And, it was either my way or even though we're on the highway, that's what it's going to be. And now, I will say this, I'm being more open to newer and more modern rock bands. And my one son is trying to get me to listen to artists like Benson Boone and Alex Warren. I just can't do it.
You got what you're into. I mean, look, a lot of the '80s hair metal. You know, you're talking about some of the most creative music video. Some of the best guitar riffs. I mean, fuck you. You want to talk about like two of the most hardest hitting drummers in the 80s. I mean, look no further than Frankie Banali from Quiet Riot and Mick Brown from Dokken. I mean, you have those 24-inch, kick drums that sound like a fucking cannon. So, I mean, it's also cool to be a little more open minded. I mean, look, maybe it might not be, everyone's cup of tea, but, that's the beauty of music. There's something for everybody.
It's like, everybody in the 70s and early 80s watched 3 television stations.
Right.
And cable, and cable kind of turned everything into like magazines where everybody gets like very segmented in their audience. Where, you have like, I was on YouTube the other day and they have freaking videos for your cat to watch while you went out. And the same thing happened with music. Everybody used to listen to the 3 or 4 main rock stations now, and that doesn't exist anymore. Everything's streaming now. So everybody's on satellite or streaming and being their own DJ, mixing their own music. MTV's dead. It's the market's the same way. You have to go out there and you have to support new music. And, if you want a local scene, you have to be part of a local scene, no matter what your age is. Yeah, and that's just the way I look at it. There's plenty of people that still are not dead yet, and there's plenty of people that are young that sit home a lot more than they used to. It's just a shame. It's like, go out, explore new bands. I don't care what type of music it is. Look for live music, look for live entertainment. Get outside the house, socialize.
Yeah. Now, what's next for Ryder? You guys have a show coming up, I believe, on August 7th.
That's right. August 7th, we are playing the Rock House in Staten Island, New York. I believe that's with the bands St. Anthony and Snow White. I believe that's the lineup. So it's going to be a pretty cool show. And then August the 29th at AMH, we are doing our record release out in Amityville, New York. So, yeah, got a few shows coming up. Albums dropping, and, we're just having fun and keeping busy.
Now, how many tracks are on the new album?
There are 9.
9 tracks. Awesome, dude. Now,
this record's pretty heavy.
Where can the audience, check you guys out at on social media? You got your website.
You can follow us on Instagram at Ryder_NY, Facebook.com/RyderBand NY, YouTube.com/RyderBand, and our official merch shop, RyderBandShop.com. And you could stream Neon Flames, Burn the Sky, Menagerie, our live album, Live from the Dark, which we put out earlier this year, and so much more. Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Tidal. Sure, you'll find some fucking like feet videos on Pornhub somewhere using a song. So,
well, you know what? That's actually where I discovered you guys at. Sorry.
Was it the one with the barbecue sauce, or when we were putting it in the permane sandwich?
So it was barbecue sauce. I was worried it wasn't.
No, you're from Pittsburgh. I thought you were going to say Permane Brothers.
Well, I knew what you meant. Yes. But off the record, I am not a huge fan.
We'll say this much: I have a friend of mine from Pittsburgh. Got to try Permane Brothers. Got to try Permane Brothers. Got to try Permane Brothers. Even went as far to say that it is better than New York Deli.
Oh.
I'm like, did it once. We got the the pastrami with the coleslaw, the tomato, the egg, and the whole 9 yards. And they were saying, oh, people eat this with one hand. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Nobody eats this with one hand.
No.
We tried it. I mean, it was a good sandwich. I mean, I'm not gonna nod, but it's not like it's not life changing. It's like people from Chicago saying that their pizza is really pizza. I mean,
every town has their thing that they like to make it a little landmark with food places and so forth like that. So yeah, I'll eat there if there's nothing else that I'm craving, but it's not my first choice.
I will say this much. I'll give them some credit. They give you a shit ton of food.
They do. They do that. Absolutely. So
No, that's Pittsburgh. You need a nice big plate of halushki, some kielbasa, and pierogies.
now you're talking my
There we go.
language.
My mom's from Pennsylvania, so I know all about that.
That's that Polish side coming out in me.
Yep.
Nice, man. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, we'll wrap it up here. Any, I want to say last words, but anything else you want to let the fans and the audience know?
Like we've been saying, Burn the Sky comes out August 28th. You could stream Neon Flames and Burn the Sky right now. Live from the Dark, check it out. Menagerie, check that out.
Follow us on social media.
Follow us on social media, and for everybody listening from wherever you are, thank you so much for all the support, and for Pittsburgh only, Yin's better fucking stream our record.
Love it, man. Yeah, and get a Permane Brothers sandwich too, okay?
Definitely.
Because I'm not going to win any fans right now, or get any sponsorship from Permane's for me saying that.
Eat Permane Brothers and put French fries in your salad.
Well, that is a given, man. You guys don't put French fries in your salad in New York?
No.
They put them on a burger.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God, dude! Like I cannot eat.
They put them on sandwiches in New Jersey. They put everything on a sandwich: mozzarella stick, chicken fingers, sauce, cheese.
Hell yeah!
Thank you so much for being guest here on the Youth Gone Mild podcast.
Thank you so much for having us, man.
All right, guys, have a great one. And I just want to give a huge thank you to today's guest and/or guest for sharing the stories and the moments that remind us why rock music still has us banging our heads today. Whether it's a legend who helped build the soundtrack of our lives or the new blood keeping that volume turned up, every artist has a story worth hearing. So to all my fellow Gen Xers out there and millennials, keep those old vinyl records spinning, those cassettes turning, and the CD tracks skipping loud enough to embarrass your kids and possibly your grandkids. And to the younger generation discovering classic and modern bands for the first time, welcome to the party. So go dig deeper, explore the music, and find out why we still say we're rockin' like dockin'. And no, I will not be explaining that any further. I'm Gen X Joe, coming to you from the Wherever I May Roam studio, asking you to keep supporting the artists, keep discovering new music, and most importantly, keep rocking loud and living proud. We'll see you next time on the Youth Gone Mild podcast, where hairlines fade, but rock never does. Peace out. Props everyone for listening. Youth Gone Mild!